3 nights ago, I watched myself walk into my own house. The only problem was, I was already inside, and the girl opening my front door looked exactly like me. My name is Emily Carter. I live alone in a small town in Oregon. Quiet place, safe neighborhood. Nothing strange ever happens here. At least, that's what I used to think. 3 nights ago, I came home from work around 9 p.m. Normal evening. I made dinner, watched some TV, and eventually went upstairs to get ready for bed. Everything felt normal until my phone buzzed. A notification from my home security app. The alert said, "Motion detected at front door," which made no sense because I was already home. At first, I assumed it was a bug. Maybe the wind moved something outside. But curiosity made me open the camera feed anyway. And that's when my stomach dropped, because someone was standing on my porch. A girl, long dark hair, wearing the exact same jacket I was wearing earlier that day. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a key. My key. I stared at the screen, confused, because I was holding that key in my hand. There was no way anyone else could have it. But the girl on the porch unlocked my front door and walked inside. The app switched automatically to the hallway camera. I watched her step into my house, calm, relaxed, like she belonged there. Then she looked directly into the camera and smiled. My heart stopped because I wasn't looking at a stranger. I was looking at myself. Same face, same hair, same clothes, everything identical. I immediately ran downstairs. The hallway was empty. The front door was still locked. No one inside. I checked every room. Closets, bathroom, garage, nothing. When I came back upstairs, my phone buzzed again. Another security notification. This time from the living room camera. I opened the feed, and there she was again, sitting on my couch, watching TV. I ran downstairs again. The living room was empty, but the TV was on. The remote was on the couch, exactly where she had been sitting. That's when I noticed something else. The show playing on TV was the same one I had watched earlier that evening, like someone was replaying my night. For the next hour, the cameras kept sending alerts. Kitchen, hallway, bedroom. Each time I checked the footage, I saw her, my double, doing the exact things I had done earlier. Making tea in the kitchen, walking upstairs, brushing her hair in the bathroom mirror. It was like watching a delayed version of my own life. Around midnight, the alerts suddenly stopped. Everything went quiet. For a moment, I thought it was finally over. Then I received one final notification. Motion detected in bedroom. But this one was different, because I was standing in my bedroom already. Slowly, I opened the camera feed, and my heart nearly stopped, because the camera wasn't showing the room. It was showing my bed, and someone was lying in it, facing away from the camera. Long dark hair spread across the pillow. The same hair I saw every morning in the mirror. I slowly turned toward the bed, but it was empty, completely empty. My phone buzzed again. Another notification. Now the bedroom camera showed the girl sitting up in bed, slowly turning toward the camera, toward me, and then she spoke. Not through the phone, through the room. Her voice echoed softly behind me. "Emily." I turned around, and there she was, standing in the doorway, looking exactly like me. But something about her was wrong. Her smile was too wide, too still. She stepped closer, calm, relaxed, like she had all the time in the world. Then she said something that made my blood run cold. "I've been watching you for a long time." I asked her what she wanted. She tilted her head slightly, like the question confused her. Then she answered, I don't want anything. She smiled again. I just want to live here. The lights in the house flickered. Every security camera notification started going off at once. Front door, back door, hallway, kitchen, every camera showing the same thing. Her, standing in every room, watching, waiting. I looked back toward the doorway, but the girl was gone. Just empty hallway. Then my phone buzzed one final time. The security system had sent a new alert. Not motion detection, something else. New user added to home system. The name of the new user appeared on the screen. Emily Carter. My name, but the profile picture wasn't me. Now every night around 9 p.m. I get another camera alert, and every time I check the footage, I see her living my life inside my house, cooking dinner, watching TV, sleeping in my bed. And the worst part, every night she looks a little more like me, and every morning I look a little less like myself. For a few seconds I couldn't move. I just stared at my phone screen, trying to convince myself that what I was seeing wasn't real. But the video feed didn't change. The girl was still standing there in my hallway, smiling, looking directly into the camera, looking directly at me, because I was the only one who had access to that camera feed. My heart started racing. I jumped up from the couch and ran toward the hallway. The house was completely silent. The front door was still locked, exactly the way I had left it. I slowly walked down the hallway. Every step felt heavier than the last. But when I reached the spot where the girl had been standing, there was nothing there. No footsteps, no sound, no sign that anyone had entered the house. I checked every room, kitchen, bathroom, closet, garage, nothing. The house was empty, completely empty, which meant one thing. The camera must have glitched. That had to be it. Some kind of weird recording error. Maybe it replayed an old clip. Maybe the system malfunctioned. I told myself that explanation over and over again. But deep down, I knew it wasn't true. My phone buzzed again. Another security notification. Motion detected. Living room. My stomach dropped because I was standing in the living room. I slowly opened the camera feed, and what I saw made my hands start shaking. The camera was showing the couch, the exact couch I was standing beside, and sitting on it was the girl again. She was watching TV, relaxed, comfortable, just like I had been doing a few minutes earlier. The strangest part, the show on the TV was the same one I had been watching earlier, like someone had pressed rewind on my evening, like she was replaying my night. I slowly turned my head toward the couch. It was empty, no one there, but on the camera feed, she was still sitting there, still watching, still smiling. Suddenly, the girl on the camera turned her head and looked directly into the lens again. Then she leaned forward slightly, like she was trying to look closer, closer at me. Then she spoke, but the audio didn't come from my phone. It came from behind me, from the hallway. A soft voice whispered my name. Emily. I spun around. The hallway was empty, dark, silent, but the voice had sounded exactly like mine. My phone buzzed again. Another camera alert. Motion detected. Kitchen. I opened the feed. This time, I saw her standing at the kitchen counter, boiling water, making tea, exactly the same way I had done earlier. Same mug, same spoon, same movements, like she was copying me. Or worse, like she had already watched me do it. I ran into the kitchen. The kettle was on the stove, hot, steam still rising, but the room was empty. No one there, yet the camera feed still showed the girl standing there, pouring tea, then slowly turning the camera again. Her smile grew whiter, almost unnatural. Then she whispered something. 4 words. Words that made my blood run cold. I'm learning your life. I backed away slowly, my heart pounding harder than ever. This wasn't a glitch. This wasn't a prank. Something was inside my house, and it looked exactly like me. For the next hour, the camera alerts didn't stop. Every few minutes, my phone buzzed again. Hallway, bathroom, bedroom. Each time I opened the feed, the girl was there, walking through my house, touching my things, looking through my drawers, standing in front of the mirror, studying my reflection. But every time I rushed into the room, it was empty, like she existed only inside the cameras. Around midnight, the alerts suddenly stopped. The house went quiet again. Too quiet. For a moment, I thought it was finally over. Maybe the system had finally reset. Maybe the cameras stopped glitching. Then my phone buzzed again. One final alert appeared on the screen. Motion detected. Bedroom. My heart stopped because I was standing in my bedroom.